Hello everybody and welcome back to Chick with a Plan. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And if you've seen my videos before, thank you for returning. I appreciate um, just follow me along on my journey. And I hope that the things I do are a blessing to you and are helpful in some way. Okay, so today's project, we are going to be making a monthly review journal page. This is something that can go in your planner, or it can go in your journal, or if you have like a dedicated kind of scrapbook or junk journal, you can also stick it in there. And these are the pieces we are going to be using today. I will make the file available as a freebie on my website, and I will link it below the video. And if you just like these papers or the cut files, feel free to check it out there. I will say, sorry, silhouette people, I don't have a silhouette, so I don't have a way to make the files for the silhouette. I just have like the Cricut cut files or the PNGs, which maybe if you're familiar with silhouette, you'll know how to take a PNG and just make it adaptable to the silhouette. All right, well, let's get into it. Okay, let's go over what you will need for this craft. You don't necessarily have to have fancy scissors, but of course, they're good if you have them. I use scrapbooking tape. I got this on Amazon. I think it was only like $7 for a pack of like 4 of them. And of course, a printer that you can print your papers out on, or if you actually go and buy your scrapbooking papers or backgrounds, you can do that. And I prefer to have my giant paper cutter thing here because it has measurements and stuff on it and it accommodates big papers. But of course, if you don't have that, you can use a ruler and some scissors. You can do old school. It's fine. All right. And also, I prefer, if I can get the glare off of it, fine liners where it's just those narrow little tips and they're just easier to write with. You see how tiny that is. And I think they just look neater and better than using like a gel pen or something like that. But of course, use what you got. This isn't about being perfect. This is about just creating something that you can look back on and see what you did that month, see what you went through or what you accomplished. Um, and I'm going to try to make this craft as quick as possible. So it's not going to be super embellishy. It's going to be more about let's get it done. Let's make it look, pretty. But we don't have to be super fancy with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this paper to be the size of my journal page. This is going to be my background sheet right here. And I made a journal for myself where it's actually 8.5 by 8.5. So I don't have to worry about it being the wrong size. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hole punch this. And I do use a disc style binding system for this journal. I just find it easier to get the pages in and out. And also what the problem I've found with A5 and A6 or half letter size binding mechanisms is they don't come in very large sizes. So it's easy to get to a point where you can't fit much more into your journal. So I found that disc planner rings, you can actually get them fairly large, and that allows you to put more and more of your scrapbooking or your journaling or your planning into it. All right, so I've got this punched. I'm going to go ahead and cut the other pieces of paper that are going to be necessary for this. And these papers, I don't know why I put this up. All right, these papers, I'm actually going to cut at 8 inches because I want to leave a 1/2 inch margin on my, sometimes I'm very bad at explaining things, but like that, like when I tear this, I don't want to worry about it having to spill over here. And I want to look fairly neat. So, and then we're going to take this and we're going to tear this, because we're just going to put that along the top. And I'm thinking I'm going to put one along the bottom too. We're going to see how that works out. So this is kind of the idea I have, is I'm going to come along and I'm going to put that right there. And then I'll just put this down at the bottom. I think that'll look pretty neat. And then of course we're going to layer more stuff over this. Okay, so something I wanted to try with this page is like the flip book effect, where it's kind of like staggered down the page and you just flip, flip, flip. Well, I was going to try to make it to fit these size little things, which is something I printed from this. It's the Canon Ivy. No, I'm not sponsored. This is just something I bought because I thought it'd be interesting to use with journaling and with scrapbooking or anything else. Um, and it doesn't run on ink. It's actually some sort of zinc technology. I don't understand it actually, so Google that if you're interested. So all you have to do is buy replacement paper for it. But I will say I don't like how expensive the paper and like the refills and stuff are, so I try to use it sparingly. Um, but I do like the size. Sometimes the color turns out kind of funky. For instance, this was like bright berry colors. This is a picture of pancakes with a berry syrup that I made. And I was really proud of it, so I took a picture of it, and it was like my experimental recipe of the month. But it looks brown, so sometimes the colors don't turn out great. But this one turned out really good. And also I like that they're like 2 inches by 3 inches, so it's like being able to fit tiny snapshots of everything onto a page and make more use of your real estate. Okay, so I'm going to get into figuring out how big I want these to be, because I want to give it enough room to tape it down. I'm thinking about this size will be good. I would say I could just cut the whole page in half, but I don't want to make these longer than they have to be, because then it would just take up more space. So on to the cutting part, and if I put this where I can see my razor has been, I can see this is going to be 4 inches, so I'm going to do 4 inches, and then I'm going to also cut this at 4 inches and make sure that's lined up right. Okay, and now for the width, which was, let me grab my reference picture again. I mean, it probably needs to be about 3 inches wide if this is 2 inches. Let's see, about right there. I'm not really sure how many of these I want to incorporate. I just know that I want it to be, we're going to go with 2.5, because I want it to be even. That fits pretty good. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and cut these and I'll get right back. Okay. So I have cut out 4 of these. I'm not really sure if I'm going to need more of these. And my intention behind these is to put more like the challenges that I experienced this month. And okay, so this is my thought process behind a monthly reflection page. You want to look back and remember the good stuff and have your key memories there in front of you, but you also want to be able to remember your challenges. And my argument behind that is um, we tend to be very hard on ourselves, especially as women. You know, we can be really hard on ourselves and look back at our lives or the previous month, or you know, even the previous last 6 months or whatever, and just wonder like, what did I really do? What did I accomplish? And we can be really hard on ourselves and think that we didn't accomplish a lot, but we forget to take into account the challenges that we may have encountered, whether it was health issues, whether it was, let's say, your car broke down, or stuff like that. Like if you had financial goals and it was messed up because you had to pay for car repairs, or so I think it's really important just to document them. You don't have to put them where you can see them like right in your face on the page. You can literally, like, I'm going to create an envelope here in a moment and I'll show you how to just put it together. And you can put your challenges or the thing you struggled with inside that, or you can put it in this little flip thingy right here. Um, it's just a way to be not negative, but objective about what that month was really like for you and your family. And this is not really like a scrapbook page, I would say. It's more like a reflection, a journal page, but it's scrapbooky. So I think I'm going to go ahead and tack these down with some scrapbook tape because they're kind of driving me bonkers. I wanted to wait to kind of like get the full layout, but I think I'm just going to be a little bit of a risk taker right now and just go ahead and put these down. I'm thinking if I just put it along the edges, it'll be fine. I don't think I need to like put it all over. And this tape seems to work pretty good. I've even used it for um, putting together like a little cardstock folder, and it seems to hold together pretty well. So I like it. Okay, so for these cards, I'm actually gonna take a popsicle stick and I'm gonna fold the top part where it's gonna be folding a lot, and I'm just gonna like press that down so that it doesn't bite me when I go to adhere it correctly. And as you even noticed, I printed a pattern on this side as well because I want to be able to see it when I flip up. I think that would be really cute. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've printed out my little envelope thingy right here. And this, I mean, you can pick whatever pattern you want to be on the back of it so that when it's closed, you can actually just see the outside pattern. I wasn't really sweating the inside pattern too much. So I made this in 2 sizes. This is the smaller one. There's also a larger version of this envelope in the files. But because I've already got a lot going on and I'm not even sure I'm going to use this, but I'm going to see if it works with what we're doing here. Um, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and get this cut out and then I'll get right back with you. So the way this little envelope thing is going to work is we are just going to fold it without tearing it. Ooh, I actually left a track. Mm, maybe be more careful in that part. I don't think it's that big a deal. Okay, so I'm just going to, instead of dragging the popsicle stick on it, because apparently that took a little bit of the color off the page. I mean, if it's not a big deal to you, do it. Don't matter. Again, we are not worried about perfection here. We are just trying to make things we like and enjoy and that help us feel a little more connected in our lives. So when you put this on the page, it's basically just going to be like that. So you can do one of two things. You can leave it like this and just write something and have it where it just completely flips open. Or you could actually just affix these and use it to stick little things in. Maybe something you just want to like, maybe you want to make a little note to yourself that you want to read somewhere down the line. Just, make your little note and fold it up, stick it inside, and then you can just pop it open when you want to actually read it. And of course, you can always just write on here something regarding your note or, I don't know, decorate it. Okay, something else to consider. So I've got these little snapshot, kind of vintage, not really vintage, but the photo frame edges that I created. And I sized them to be 2 by 3 so that these little things would fit in them. And I'm thinking, like, this is a snapshot that I took. I'm thinking if I just put that inside there and then put that right there, that would look really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. There's a part of me that's afraid of the object permanence of this, just because I don't want to get it on there and then, like, oh, never mind. I don't like that. But I can't be afraid to make mistakes. See? The perfectionism recovery even applies to me. Like, see, I really like that. I think that looks good. Except it does kind of fade into the background. Maybe if you do this for yourself, make sure it's completely got like a background like this or something behind it, but I'm not going to sweat it. So I also have these things. And for these, I kind of intended them to be where I could just maybe put labels or notes on them. I think that will be useful. And I'm just going to go ahead and peel this June one out because I'm going to be using this one. And I don't know if I want to pop it up here. Where'd that come from? For some reason, I don't know why, but that's where I want to stick it. And so I shall. In 2024. Again, y'all don't have to do what I'm doing. If what I'm doing drives you nuts, fair enough. Sometimes I drive myself nuts. It's all good though. For some reason, I just really want to follow that. And no, it's not perfect. And I think I'm actually going to fix these below that. So that should work, right? Hey, by the end of this, it's going to look great. I'm going to say about right there. Make sure it's kind of level with the edge so it doesn't look funky. And then we're going to flip that up. gonna fix this one, making sure it stays fairly level. And of course, we're going to repeat for these other two. Alrighty. All right. So there we go. That's going to be the flip book aspect of it. And I mean, since I intend on putting maybe more personal struggles, for lack of a better word for it, or challenges that I encountered this month, I'm probably not going to show you the finished area for that. I'm just going to show you before I go through and write things on it. And actually, I'm thinking about taking this and using like a Sharpie and just writing kind of like little phrase or something on it and sticking it on this. Or I could stick it, well, no, it's too thick for the tab. But or if you have like a metallic pen, you could just put your words right here. Whatever it is, like sometimes things don't go smoothly or something like that. Obviously, maybe a better phrase than that, but just an idea. Okay, and I've just taken a moment to write some words I think would go cute on this. And so as you can see, my handwriting is terrible. So don't feel bad when you go to write on these things. Like handwritten, no matter how cattywampus it may look, is sometimes a better and more personal touch than if you're just using typeface for everything. As you can see, I tried it with I had a brush pen, and I don't know how I got ink all over the side of my finger. Anyways, so I tried it with a brush pen, and obviously it just no. And even though this is not the best, I thought the thickness of the letters was at least more consistent. This was just with this thing, which is a medium. It's got a really fat kind of like focus. Thank you. Or not. It's literally got sass today. Okay. Anyway, it's got a thicker tip. So what I am going to try to do, ooh, let's just see how this works. Just embrace the mistakes, guys. Which I am literally telling myself right now. All right. So here we go. You know, that's a way to add a little visual interest to it. And I didn't chop up the words that I made, so I'm doing good. And of course, we're just going to use some of this to stick it on there. Oh no. Oh, there it is. About right there is probably a good place for it. I think most of what I'm going to be showing y'all is just the layout process. And I say that because some of these pictures that I have to add, they have my kids in them. And I just don't want to, you know, violate their privacy. So I might use like a placeholder or something instead to show y'all at the end what this layout's going to look like. All right, there we go. That's not looking so bad. It's actually looking pretty good. I think I might use my little bees Bees are looking pretty cute right now. You can just buzz around over here. I'm thinking I'll probably, ooh, if I don't tear it. I tore it a little bit. It's okay. I'll use, well, mm, let's hold that thought. Sorry, shaking my ring light because I'm literally using it as a sticker thingy now. I think I'm gonna add this, and I'm also going to add this. I don't want it to create weird angles with this. And then we can kind of put this over it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this thing. There we go. Focus. Good stuff. Sorry, y'all. I am extremely weird. Oh my gosh. I think it's actually dull. Oh no. I may need a replacement blade. That's not cool. Yep. I think I've put this thing through the ringer and now I am in need of another blade. Look at that buildup on there. That's not good. Oh, and it's bent. Jeez. Okay. I'm really rough on my tools, in case y'all are wondering. But you get the idea, and you can literally, instead of doing stickers up here, you could put like quotes or like the theme that you had or the word of intention that you had for this month up here. And you can also write whether or not you felt you met that intention. Um, I will try to include a PDF of like all the different ideas for various things that I feel that you could put on here. But let's put it this way. Think about what is most important to you. Like what goals are most important to you? It is it health? Is it your spiritual walk, your walk with Jesus? Is it um, learning something new, learning a new skill? Like highlight your traction in those areas. You could use pictures or you could just, write quotes. Sorry. Just, of course, and this is going to be different for everybody. And a couple examples of things I'm going to include. Of course, there are things for my kids, like my son caught his first fish. It could be that simple, guys. It doesn't have to be complicated. My daughter started making her own stickers. How cute is that? Of course, not this, but the picture of the sticker. Um, and things I wanted to remember, like letting God have control. You know, if if you believe in God, which I do, and I know that I'm not in control, He is. So when you find yourself worrying about things and getting so worked up, that's something to remember. God has control. So let go of control because you don't got it anyway. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and comment below what kind of crafts or themes or art you would like to see next. All right, have a blessed day, guys. Bye bye.